Hey, Osplin Snakeo here with another figure review. This time I have a custom Transformers Prime Deluxe size RC. I finished this last night. I've not got any varnish left, so the paint might come away as I do this review, so bear with it. But I've literally finished painting her last night, and I've got to say I'm over the moon of how well she's come together and how well she actually looks. Really over the moon. As you can see, she's in deluxe size, and you're probably thinking, well, what's the difference between that and the ones we get, apart from paint job? Quite a lot. For starters, I'm going to show you her transformation. So to transform her, you go doo doo doo. Yeah, one thing that kind of bugged me about the deluxe size RC was I thought it was a pretty cool toy. I liked the transformation. It wasn't terrible. I didn't like the massive wheel on the back of it, but apart from that, I didn't really mind. I thought it was a pretty good toy. The thing that bugs me about it is that when she transforms in the series, she literally goes from this giant robot down to this tiny bike. And I've actually got a still, which I'll put on now. That shows, you see, like she's so I figured these legend or leader class, or not leader class, these legends or Legion or Cyberverse class Transformers came out, and I saw this little bike, and I don't collect Cyberverse, but I thought, hang about, that's actually in really good scale with the deluxe, with the Transformers. You know, bikes are a lot smaller. When you transform her as a bike, I don't actually have another one, but when you transfer as a bike, she's like this big. Now, for just 1 second. Okay, to show the size comparison, here she is against the deluxe Robots in Disguise Bumblebee. And, you know, I think that's actually a really good scale, because the bike is a lot smaller, you know. It's not this gigantic bike, which is actually taller than a car, which she actually transforms into. So that's why I decided to do this custom. Yes, she's no longer actually technically a transformer. She is a what they called robot replicas figure, and like I said, she doesn't transform. And what I've actually done is taken away this massive bulk on the back of her legs, so she doesn't have these giant wheels. I've also taken away the giant wings and given her the ones a bit more accurate, and I've given her a little wheel on the back, which she has. Now, she's not spot on, but I think she's pretty damn good. So that's yeah, I mean, I'll go over the details. Like I said, a quick scale. So there she is in vehicle mode compared to the Robots in Disguise Bumblebee. And here's the first edition Bumblebee. They're roughly the same scale. This one's a little bit bigger, which is why I prefer it. And as you can see, she scales in really nice with him. I've got Prime here. So as you can see, he towers her, which is absolutely spot on. She hasn't lost any height or anything. Here's a Vehicle, and here's a standing Vehicle. So you can see, really good. She's pretty much the smallest. In fact, 2 secs. I have just here Black Arachnia. And if I put Prime there, she wants to stand. You can see these two are supposed to be roughly the same height. Black Arachnia is a very tiny figure. She should actually ideally be a little bit bigger, but generally they're in really good scale with each other. So anyway, there's enough size comparisons. Just get this stuff out of the way. You can go there, you can go there, you can come over here, and finally you can go back up there. I'm sure she's going to fall as she just cannot stand. There you go. Okay, right. So quick look at the bike. It's just I couldn't actually find the RC bike, and this is the Decepticon Firewall, I believe his name is. Her name is. Its name is. I don't know if it's he, she. Basically, very simple. I've not really done anything. I've given it a paint job, and I've kind of glued the wheels into place, but they're not really that good. So if I do want to transform it at a later date, I could do. Although the paint jobs to look more like the bike, not actually how the actual transformer looks. So painted the brake shoes, blade discs even. Bit of silver on there, bit of silver on there, light green windscreen to match her green there. That's the only reason I actually painted that green, was because I had to paint this one green, so I wanted them to match. So, you know, it's okay. Now this one, as you can see, she's got her blaster and she's got her blades. I haven't touched the blades, this is literally straight out of the box, haven't done anything to that. Just pegs into there. But the blaster, as you can see, it comes out of her hand. Her hand's actually just there. And I've painted it and add a little bit of detail onto it, and I think it came out pretty good. It's not like wow, I'm not the best painter in the world, but I'm very happy with how it looks. I definitely think I'm going to get the Shapeways Arcee blasters. Now it literally just, you put the hand down, I'll show you on this one. She's got really tight elbows, I'm a bit worried about breaking the plastic. Right, you put the hand down like that and it literally just pegs on there. So if I undo it, it's very tight, and that's the first time I've done it since I painted it. I put a bit of varnish on there because it's the only varnish I had, just to protect that. I literally, where's the other part? I cut it off here. I simply cut that straight down, and I just hollowed that out best I could. Had to actually get a Dremel to get like a thing, so it's quite wide. It's warped slightly when I first tried it, and then I've put a groove in here for the blade. I was thinking of putting a groove in there so it could go in either hand, but like I said, I'm going to get the Shapeways ones, I believe, so I'm not that bothered about this. But for a quick little custom, I think it's pretty good. And then she's got her blaster, so that's pretty cool. And her blade's exactly the same as the Robots in Disguise RC. So, articulation. That is really tight joint. I don't like that. I'm worried it's going to break. It just doesn't want to go. It feels like it's bending the plastic and I turn it. It's very stiff elbows. I might actually pop that out and sand that down at a later date. She maintains all of her articulation. I'm a bit dubious about doing it because, like I said, I haven't actually put varnish on it, and she stands fine. So what I did was I basically chopped out the entire of the back along this kind of line here, and then I took off I then cut the petrol tank in half and then put that back on, and then put a hole in it, and then these wheels, this wheel, this wheel and this wheel, are just from a random transformer that I got in a bulk buy, just like a kiddie one, not very like, I don't even know who it is or what it is. It looks a bit like Blur, but I'm not too sure. So yeah, I glued that into place, and I glued that all into place. I was thinking of epoxying it, but then I thought, hang about it, this is a transformer, it's kind of supposed to have holes and gaps in that, so I chose not to keep the kind of illusion of parts going together. So as you can see, I tried to match the paint job on her as close as I could get to the screen, and I think that's as good as it's going to get. I could definitely see there's two different shades of grey, and I decided to go metallic for like chainmail for the silver bits for the light part. So hands, knee pads, these little bits, her back and her face are all chainmail, Gaze Workshop chainmail silver. And then I noticed these parts are actually blue, so I've painted these blue. And she's got like a glowing bit in there, so I've given it a nice little bit of a glow. Her face is not anything really wow, but you know, like I said, I'm not the best painter in the world, but I think I've done an okay job. I actually almost left her with blue ears, but I watched a bit of an episode last night and I actually showed that she's got silver ears, so put a little bit of metallic in there. Like I said, her articulation is exactly the same as the Robots in Disguise transform. The only thing she's really lost is bulk at the back and bulk at the back of the legs. I'll go over the legs in a minute. So articulation head is on a ball, so she can go all the way around, turn it left to right. Arms are on balls also, so they can go all the way around. Careful not to catch the blades. Out to there. Elbows are also on a ball, they can go to there. They can rotate, but I'm a bit dubious because I'm worried about bending the plastic, so I'm going to file that down, I think. Wrists are also on a ball, can go to there, full 360, and again very very tight. And all the paint that I've put on there has just come straight off, so that's brilliant. Nothing on the torso. Hips on a teacup, so they can go. That's her Spartan kicks, that's very impressive. And that's her split kick. And then finally her knees are on a pivot. The knees are on not a 90 degree. I'm trying to create the angle, I don't want to say pivot. So she can bend her knees all the way to there. So that's actually really cool. Shame I couldn't keep any toe articulation, but there's a reason why I didn't. Because the hinge is actually here and not here, if I'd done it, then I thought it would come all the way back. And as you can see, I've added all this wheel, and this part used to be, I think this one was actually original on this leg, and it was facing down, but like I think it came out of here. I can't honestly remember, but as you can see, I've put them in, and I've used this part here as her heel, because I tried standing her without that, and once you cut it off, because you see I cut it off just here, she just fell straight over. She needs a heel of some kind, so she's got a heel, and as you can see, she stands perfectly fine. Might be able to get into a kick, I don't know, I've never tried this. Let's see. Oh, I forgot to add, she's got, does she have thigh? No, I don't think she does have thigh. I thought she'd rotate at the thigh, but I don't think she does, and I don't want to force it. No, I don't think I can get her to stand on one foot. I think she's a bit too top heavy. Quick try, and I've got a really big hair. No, whatever. Anyway, as you can see, I think this is a really nice custom, if I do say so myself. I'm very happy with the end result. I'm a little bit disappointed that I couldn't keep transformation and make it look a bit more show accurate, but at the same time, the scale's all off, so I don't mind that I've lost the transformation for that, because I generally believe that is a much better scale in vehicle mode opposed to this, like, because that bike, like I said, is literally like that big, and a bikes are just not that big. So I'm very happy with the end result. Anyway, that's my review for my custom Transformers Prime Deluxe RC and Cyberverse Legends class RC vehicle, I guess. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Like I said, I'm really over the moon, and I love how it looks. And it was actually a very simple custom to do. I'll just quickly once again go over it and say if anyone wants to do it himself. All you need to do is, obviously, you unhinge the whole wheel part, bonnet part that comes on here, the glass part, take that off. Then you need to cut down here, down this line here. If I come in closer, you might see there's a line there, cut straight down to there, and then cut down there. And then you also need to cut the petrol tank in half, so it's a lot thinner. Put it back on, find some wheels. If you had a couple of these wheels will be fine, but I only have the one of these, so that's why I chose to use these ones. And yeah, cut a hole in it. It's fiddly, and you need to hold it just right. Anyway, cut the wings down, glue them straight on, and that's basically all I've done. I put a little bit here of some excess. This part here, plastic, I believe was actually in here, part of this part here, and I've just put them there just to cover this hole. There's a bit of a hole there, so but you can put something flat over that to cover it. I believe also I've noticed is that she's got like these little points here. They should be longer. They should probably come down to about here, but I only actually noticed that after I already cut it off, which annoyed me. So I think at a later day I'm going to add something to that to make it match like the front here. Nothing to do in the upper part of the thigh. Lower part of the thigh, like I said, cut it off at the pivot point here. This is where the wheel comes out, and then you bring the heel back, and that's how you do part of the transformation. So if you actually cut it off there, and then you can use part of that to make a heel. No, and then another wheel, that's just glued in there. So I'm really happy with how those legs look. They're so much slimmer. That's kind of another thing that bugged me about that. This one is her legs just had these massive wheels sticking out. I mean, yeah, fair enough, she's got to transform, so it's not really a big deal for the toy. It was still a really good toy. Like I said, I just wanted to make a bit more show accurate one, so that's why I've chosen to do this. And you tell me what you think. I'm going to put that there, and I'll do that, and I'm going to show you that still one more time. There you go, guys. You tell me, what do you think? I'm very happy with this, and I think it's a very good representation. Like I said, shame I've lost the transformation, but very happy with the results. Anyway, thanks for watching. As per usual, leave your comments and links below, and I'll catch you later. Bye bye, guys.